I'm Brandon Thornton. I am co-owner here at XO Nightclub, founder and co-owner of Encore ATX. Just been in Austin since 2016, doing events, shows, nightlife parties, day parties, just curating a lot of upscale and cultural events here in Austin, Texas. Yeah, my first love is spoken word poetry. I've been a poet since 2007, so it's been 16 years that I've been around and performed spoken word poetry. We also, so we have poetry and open mic events here. We also do painting events, so like painting with a twist, but we call it trap and paint or sip and paint, hip hop music. But people just really love uh, painting their own design and then taking it home. We also support hip hop, uh, live music, R&B. We've had a jazz event. So we all the art forms we love. We do yoga events. The list goes on, right? I could keep naming things, but if it has a cultural significance, if people can come out and enjoy it, then we trying to find ways to support it. So XO Nightclub is brand new. It's only 2 weeks old. My business partner Tiffany and we just had the idea we wanted to open our own venue. We had previously been venue owners, and we decided to get back into having our own venue. The beautiful thing about this place is that we were able to decorate it from scratch ourselves. Tiffany did a phenomenal job. She did 90% of all the picking out of all the decor here. I got to give a big shout out to Phoenix Art Studios, Rose. She really did a phenomenal job just getting everything together here, just painting and just putting her spin on things. So Tiffany and Raya were huge parts of it. I don't take any credit for the decor here, but I am in charge of programming and planning. So we're really excited about getting a lot of great events in here. So when I was a kid, I mean, I used to be outside a lot, right? So we used to like ride bikes, and then as I got older, I played basketball. So I used to play basketball all the time. So growing up, I wasn't very artistic. Like I couldn't draw, I couldn't sing. I started doing poetry later in life, like when I was in college. But I do always felt like I had some type of sense of adventure inside of me. Like I was the risk taker as a kid. So I think being a risk taker has allowed me to kind of keep that creativity and keep that kid like ambiance, because you got to have that, right? Adult life can beat you up. So I think that I've always kind of kept that childlike spirit in all the things that I do. I'm from Illinois originally, Bloomington Normal, Illinois, which is a small town in between Chicago and St. Louis, like right in the middle. But I did live in St. Louis. That's where I started doing spoken word. St. Louis is a great town. And people don't realize a lot of famous comedians have came from St. Louis. So I used to be around comedians, and that's kind of where I honed in my spoken word style. Was a lot different because I had that stage presence that comedians have. So I really love living in St. Louis. I used to live in also Dayton, Ohio. That's where I got my master's degree. So yeah, I originally moved to Austin to be a professor. I still am. I teach mathematics and statistics courses. So moved here in 2016, and definitely the best decision moving to Austin. When I first moved here in 2016, I had just got done with grad school, and I grinded hard. Like I used to work, teach all day. I used to tutor at night just to pay my bills and things. So when I came here, I was like, I'm gonna pick back up doing spoken word, because I put spoken word poetry down to do grad school, and then I picked it back up. So when I first moved to Austin, there was a group called Young Black Austin. It was like an app where you could meet and network with different transplants, as they call them here in Austin. So I got a chance to just network and meet a lot of people. Before I even moved here, I was meeting people, but when I first got here, I was really networking and mingling. And then I started doing poetry shows. And then from that, we started doing an event downtown at a spot called Speakeasy. We had 250 people our first show. It was amazing. Keep in mind, I've been in Austin for like 2 months, literally. And then just from there, it just kind of grew over time. I stayed consistent. Tiffany and I started doing events together. So, she's from Austin. So having her be from Austin and me, it was just like a good synergy and energy. And we end up having Hanover's 2.0, which was a venue in North Austin. We were co-owners of that for a while. Then the pandemic came. So it's just, I just feel like Austin, I feel like I definitely moved here at the perfect time back in 2016. I remember there were weekends where there were no black events. Like literally, if you wanted to be black and be around black people, you had to go to a house party or something like that. Now that's changed very much so, but to have this space XO where every single weekend you can come and be around people that look like you, that was always the goal. And to see it kind of come to fruition now is a beautiful thing. Man, so it was funny. Like we actually met at one of my events. We actually met twice. First time we met, she was unavailable, but we had just kind of met and talked, and it was just a vibe. But we both went our separate ways. And then a year and a half later, we met up again. And at that time, she was single, I was single, and ever since that day, we just kind of clicked and vibed. I never thought that she would, help me with the business or she would become a part of the business, but it just kind of happened naturally. And, fast forward to now, she is a phenomenal co-owner. She's so knowledgeable in so many different aspects of the business, not only in behind the scenes business, but like I said, if you show pictures of the venue, like she decorated all of this. And she's just an amazing person, right? There's no other way to put it. Like who she is as a person is, I'm lucky to have her in my life. So in the next 5 years, I hope to just maintain what XO is, or what XO is becoming, which is just a quality place for people to come and have a good time here in Austin. I feel like a lot of times places start off well and then they kind of nosedive or they fall off eventually. So my goal is to contain consistent quality throughout this entire process. And then hopefully in the next 5 years, I want to continue doing encore events. I would love to move our events to other cities. I think probably within the next 5 years, we'll open up another venue as well too. So just really maintaining what we have, growing our base, growing our influence, going to other cities. In the next 5 years, I want to travel to all the continents. I've been to almost all of them. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to Asia. I've been to part of Asia, but I want to go to Asia as well. And then I think I would get 6 of the 7 continents crossed off. And so travel, I definitely want to continue to travel within the midst of doing all of this. I would like to learn how to speak Spanish one day too. I feel like that's going to be a goal. So really just, once again, maintaining quality. It has to be a passion. It has to be something that you think about every single day. What can we do to get better? How can we maintain for the guests that are coming and continue to create good events? Also, we're big about partnerships, right? So other events, other promotional companies, if they're interested in working with us, we want to work with them as well too. Right now, I mean, San Antonio, we do events there, so that's our closest neighbor, San Antonio. Dallas and Houston are kind of the natural next to, and then maybe, who knows, places where black culture is like really honed in. I feel like once you own a venue, it's kind of hard to like spread around as much just because your focus is here. But once this place becomes more self-sufficient, then, taking a poetry show on the road or something like that would be next. One big thing about me is I like to, this goes back to the partnership. So I want to teach other young promoters, because I see them come in. Now that we have a venue, they're going to be like, hey, can I come do an event? So I want to teach young promoters the value of building a contact list, having quality graphic design, being on time to your events, having your events start on time. I feel like there's a lot of things young promoters can learn that I had to learn the hard way, right? How do you deal with money? How do you deal with people? How do you deal with DJs? Things like that. So I would maybe like to start like some type of class or seminar for young promoters. As I'm learning this the venue owning part of it, the bar and venue rental stuff like that. Maybe I could teach that to people someday as well too. And overall, I just want to leave a legacy that Austin can be black, Austin can be diverse, and it doesn't have to be at a white-owned venue. It could be at a black-owned venue. Black-owned venues get a lot of stigma sometimes for lack of quality and things like that. So I 100% want to change that narrative here in Austin.
This is brought to you by Africana Art.